Okay, so now we're going to go through some different packages just to show you about them. Now, I just updated this web page on the server. NumPy and SciPy are two of the most common used ones, and they used to be difficult to install. With 3x, I think every time I've used them, I was able to install them pretty quickly. Now, the nice part about these, when you can download them from scipy.org or Christoph's site, or pip might work, but there's some pretty cool examples out there in this cookbook. This will get you started. It will show you how to do a lot of different things using SciPy and NumPy. These are scientific and statistical calculation libraries, specifically a linear algebra library. Oh, and Matplotlib is right there together with it. Okay, so and SciPy and NumPy kind of come together, so you notice I'm on the SciPy page, but it's NumPy. And there's excellent tutorials. I'm not going to provide a lot here, but the SciPy site gives great tutorials on how to use these. And where you would use them is scientific analysis of data sets related to R, similar statistics for R, and you can also interface Python to R, but that's a bit more of a challenge. This is very easy. And here's talk about arrays, basic operations, array arithmetic is a lot of it, or matrix algebra, vector operations. Okay, so the other one you probably find more interesting is Matplotlib. Okay, this is a charting package. Pretty easy to get in and create a huge variety of charts with Matplotlib, and again, it's focused on scientific data. So there's installation instructions for it, but we have it included. Here we've got a simple bar chart, and I will go ahead and paste that into Wing and run it. And you can see that we've got some counts here. These are just numbers from my bar chart. Positions, or really the buckets, but that defines the positions of it, and then the width of the bars. And then we provide those three into our bar chart call, and we can do labels on the y-axis and then a title across the top, and then we show it. Cool. So I should have mentioned that we also import NumPy, and then we import Matplotlib. Now you can import something as something else. All this does is take this text and rename it to that, so it's shorter and easier for you to see. Okay, so there's different ways of importing. I'll talk a little bit about them. But we can change these counts. Let's throw in a 0. Let's change our Y label to trees. And stop and run, and you can see that it changes our chart. Yep, our first bar is down at 0. Okay, and that says trees. So pretty easy to use scientific charting package, but huge amount of capability. Kind of fun to play with, and again, excellent tutorials around the Matplotlib. There is also a 3D package, and there's actually a number of these for doing 3D charting for visualization. Again, I recommend going to their tutorials. The tutorials are pretty good. 3D charts can get pretty complicated pretty quickly, but I like doing it. And these are some pretty cool examples also of how to do 3D charts. Okay, shapefiles. So we've got raster data and we've got vector data, and you've worked with these quite a bit in GIS. The shapefile format is great. It's a format created by Esri, and then they released it to the public domain, so anyone can use it and anyone can read and write those files and write code to it. There are multiple files there. There's a DBF file that actually has the attributes in it, and then the .shp has the points, polylines, or polygons. And as you're aware, you have to have your shapefile has to be all points or all polylines or all polygons. Okay, and there's excellent technical information on shapefiles if you need it. The nice part is there's also a very nice little library. This is called shapefile.py, but when you go to look for it, you will see that it's been renamed PyShape. Okay, and this is the GitHub download for it. So not really the page I wanted to be on. I'm going to click here to go to PyShape, and then here you can download a zip file for PyShape. And if you do that, you will see that this is a little bit different type of library. It does have a setup.py file, but it also just has shapefile.py. This is actually the entire quote-unquote library or package. If you run setup.py, it'll install it. You can do that, or you can just include it as a separate file, just as you can create your own files. Okay, let's go back. Oh, and there's instructions on the GitHub repository for this code. Again, if I click here, okay, there will be instructions on how to read and write files. Pretty good documentation, which is kind of the transition we're doing now, is having you more on your own out there looking at stuff. Now's the time to go to python.org, check out the Python website. Oh, something else, just as a note, is a number of you have already asked or looked at how to get a file name from the user. So if you're writing something like a GUI and you want to get the name of a file from the user, you can do that pretty easily in Qt. So there's the code for it, and it's really just this line is all you need. Once you have your Qt application and you import the widgets, you can just say qFileDialog.get open file name, and this will display an open file dialog. There's another one for saving a file, and it pops up and uses the standard Windows open file dialog, and it'll return back a file name for you here. So that's there. And I also left in the one from tkinter. I'd use the one with Qt. Seems to work well. And then I just put a note here of there's a cool library out there called GeoViews. Let's take a quick look at the assignment for this week. Okay, so I'm basically looking for you to use NumPy and SciPy. Really Matplotlib, but they're together. Those three almost always come together, and put up some charts. Try some different ones, go through their libraries or their tutorials, learn how to do some different charts. And then go out and find another one. Now, there's a rub here because on the virtual machine, you're not really supposed to install other libraries. On your personal computer, go for it, do what you want. Well, install ones that are okay. If you see blogs saying this one will corrupt your computer, don't install those. But otherwise, Python libraries are fairly safe to install. So go ahead and find one that you like. There's lots out there. Have some fun with it and create a new program that uses that library. And that can be part of your project, something you need for your project if you like. Have a good day.